Hello dear students, welcome back to school and welcome to your first English session. Today we have grammar, present tenses, part 1. This is to the Max Students book, page 10 and 11. Before we get started, I want you to answer some questions about yourselves. First question, what do you normally do on a normal day? Second question, do you keep a timetable for your daily activities? Why and why not? Third question, do you have any plans for this afternoon? If so, what are they? And what are you doing? Number 4, what are your plans for this weekend? Now I'll give you like 1 minute to answer these questions in a piece of paper, and let's come back after 1 minute. Now I want you to read the following text and highlight the present tenses you meet. This is a letter written by Peter, and I want you to read Peter's letter and see which present tenses are here. Hello, my name is Peter. I live in New York with my family. Most people believe we are rich because we live in a big house, but our family seems to be like any other one. Have a look. Maggie, my wife, likes cooking. She enjoys being in the kitchen with her friends. At the moment, she's making a cake, and you can talk to her. What really worries her is our daughter, who prefers to chat in front of her computer instead of cooking with her. This is my son, Paul. It's 5 p.m. and he's playing basketball in the garden, and I'm watching. We are waiting for the delicious cake that Maggie is preparing. Peter. In the first paragraph, we have my name is Peter, so we have is. This is a present tense, okay? I live in New York, so we have the verb live, and then we have believe. We are rich, we have are, yes, correct. Again, we have seems, correct. In the second paragraph, my wife likes cooking, so likes here, it's a present tense, yes, very good. She enjoys, so enjoy is a present tense, correct. At the moment she's making a cake, yes, correct, okay, so is making is a present tense as well. And then we have worries, okay, it's a present tense. Prefers, totally correct. Third paragraph, this is my son Paul. Again, we have is here, but it's repeated because we mentioned this before here. There on the top. Is playing, correct, it's a present tense. Am watching, okay, correct. Are waiting, is preparing. Now, how many present tenses are there in the text? Yes, we have 2 present tenses. We have the present simple and the present continuous. So, here we have the present simple versus the present continuous. First, the present simple. As you saw in Peter's letter, a list of present simple tense. We have is, are, live, believe, seems, worries, prefers, enjoys, likes. Moving to the present continuous, am watching, am waiting, is making, is playing, is cooking, are waiting. Now, how do we form both the present simple and the present continuous? Present simple form, we simply add the base form of the verb with subjects like I, we, you, and they. And we use the base form of the verb with s, es, or ies with other subjects like he, she, or it. For example, I, we, you, they like tea. Or he, she, it likes tea. Now, if we want to form a negative sentence, what do? We simply use don't or doesn't plus the base form of the verb. Then we continue the sentence. For example, I don't like tea. Number 2, she doesn't like tea. So we use doesn't with some subjects which are he, she, or it, and don't with I, we, you, and they. So we simply use the helping verb do not or does not. For forming a question, we put do or does at the very beginning of the sentence so we can form a question. Then we follow them by a subject, then the base form of the verb, then we continue the sentence and form a question. For example, do you or we or they or I like tea? Number 2, does he, she, or it like tea? I want you to remember something about verb to be. We use verb to be in the present simple, and the formation of verb to be is am, is, and are, and it's clear. Am, is, and are used as a present simple. For example, we have I am Australian, so use am here with I. This is a form of verb to be in the present simple. He, she, it is clever, again is. You, we, they are nice. Let's move to the present continuous form. How do we form a sentence in the present continuous? We simply do you remember the butterfly that you have taken before in juniors? It's like 2 wings. The first wing is am, is, or are, verb to be in the present form, and then you put the verb in the base form, and then you add ing to the base form. For example, I am reading a book. So here we have am, read, then ing, a book. He or she or it is watching TV. The same is watching. This is the present continuous. They, we, you are playing tennis. So we have are playing. This is the form of the present continuous. If we want to change this into negative, we simply put not. Not. Am not, isn't, aren't. And definitely we add the verb plus ing. For example, I am not reading a book. She or he or it isn't watching TV. They, we, you aren't playing tennis. For the question, we move verb to be at the very beginning of the question so we can form a question. Are they, we, you, then we put the verb ing or is or am at the very beginning. Am I reading a book? Is he watching TV? Are they playing tennis? Now, the question is, when do we use the present simple and the present continuous? Like, what are the uses of both of them? To start with, we have the present simple uses. Number 1, we use the present simple to talk about facts or things which are always true. For example, water boils at 100 degrees. This is a fact. We cannot change it. Number 2, the sun rises in the east. Again, this is a fact. This is something true. We cannot change. So we use the present simple. Number 2, we use the present simple to talk about repeated actions or habits. For example, Charlie walks to school with his friends every day. So this is a habit. He goes to school every day with his friends. Number 2, she always does her homework in the afternoon. Again, this is a repeated action or a habit. Number 3, permanent states. Something that doesn't change for a very long time. For example, Julie lives in London. Number 4, definitely we use the present simple to talk about timetables. Like, do you know the boards at airports that have fixed times? They rarely change, and they are kind of fixed timetables, so you can know the time. And also the timetable of a program. For example, number 1, the plane to Paris takes off at 6 tomorrow morning. Number 2, my favorite program starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Number 5, we can use the present simple to speak about narratives. For example, if you are narrating a story or saying a joke, or for example reading a sports commentary. For example, here we have a kangaroo, a horse, and a goat walk into a restaurant. This is a kind of narrative. Number 2, the joke is about a dog that talks. Again, this is a kind of like telling a joke. Number 6, we use the present simple to describe something, to write a heading of a newspaper maybe, or a title, or putting a caption. So we can say, young actress dies in car accident. This is, the heading of a newspaper or a magazine. And we can say, he gets into his office, switches on his computer to read his emails. So this is a kind of description. So again, we use the present simple to describe something. Number 7, to give instructions or directions. For example, first you boil some water and then you add the noodles. So this is a kind of instruction, or instruction. Number 8, to make promises. I promise to be very careful next time. I swear never to let you down. Here I want you to note that the present simple is used with some time expressions like always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, generally, regularly, never, every day, month or night, once or twice a week, a month, a day, a year, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, repeatedly. Now moving to the present continuous uses. We use the present continuous to speak about something that is happening now or at the moment of speaking. For example, look, it's raining. So here we use the present continuous, is raining. Or to speak about definite future plans, fixed arrangements in the future, like we're flying to Italy tomorrow. So here we have again are flying. This is the present continuous form of the verb. So we use it with definite future plans or fixed arrangements, things that you are sure that they will happen in the future. Number 3, we can use the present continuous with the time expression always, especially if we want to talk about or if we want to express an annoying habit or action. For example, our English teacher is always giving us much homework. She's very annoying. Number 4, to talk about ongoing changes or slowly changing situations. For example, I am getting better and better at speaking French. When you see an ongoing change in you, you can use the present continuous. I am getting, am and ing. Number 5, again you use the present continuous to say that something is happening in a picture. For example, describing a picture. What is happening in a picture? Like, 2 girls are shopping at a department store. Now I want you to note that the present continuous is used with some time expressions like now, at the moment, at present, look, listen, tonight, be careful, still, nowadays. Note. Okay, some verbs are used to describe states rather than actions or activities. We call these verbs stative verbs. So what are stative verbs? Stative verbs are verbs that we use to describe a state rather than an action or an activity. So we use them in the present simple tense, not in the present progressive or the present continuous, because we cannot use them in the present continuous. What are these verbs? Like, do we have a list of verbs we call stative verbs? Yes. These stative verbs include sentiments, verbs like hate, like, love, need, and want. They include, again, verbs about opinions and beliefs. For example, believe, feel, forget, hope, imagine, know, mean, suppose, prefer, recognize or realize, understand, think, remember, guess. Again, these stative verbs include possession, like belong to, possess, have got, own. And they include as well verbs about senses like smell, feel, hear, see, and taste. Some stative verbs may be used in the present continuous when we want to express 3 things. The first one is an idea in progress, like I'm thinking about moving out. Here, think is a stative verb. But how come we use this stative verb that we should use in the present simple? We use it now using the present continuous. Why? The answer is because think here is expressing an idea in progress, like I'm thinking about moving out. So here it gives the feeling of an action. Number 2, a temporary situation. So again, we can use some stative verbs in the present continuous form if we want to express a temporary situation. Like, I am imagining a sunny beach. The last case, an action, not a state. For example, Adam is having a party. So here, have, verb have here means an action, not a state. So we use it here as in the present continuous form. Now moving to practice time, I want you to complete the sentences using the correct form of the verb in brackets. We have like 6 sentences and I want you to have 1 minute. read the sentences and try to guess what are you going to do with the verbs. Are you going to put them in the present simple or the present continuous, and why? Now moving to the answers, let's answer together. Number 1, Paul's upstairs in his bedroom. I think he play video games. Now, verb play, which tense are we going to put it in and why? What is the answer? Is playing, correct, very good. So why? Because right now he is upstairs in his bedroom and he's playing video games. So he's doing something at the very moment of speaking. Number 2, every year we what to France for our holiday. We have the verb go. You may focus on the time expression included in the sentence, so it can help you to answer the questions. So every year we go. Yes, very good, excellent. Number 3, my sister, and we have always used my clothes without my permission. What do you think is this? For me, I think it's an annoying habit or an annoying action. So which tense do we use with an annoying action? Yes, we use the present continuous with this very certain keyword. So we say is always using. So my sister is always using my clothes without my permission. This is very annoying, so I used the present continuous form with this keyword. Number 4, I not do any sport at the moment. I have a rest for a couple of months. Let's see the first one. I any sport at the moment. So again, I'm talking about now. So we say I'm not doing. Very good, present continuous. Let's move to the second sentence included in the same number 4 sentence. I what a rest for a couple of months. So it's I am having. Very good. Number 5, children in Britain often what spend over 3 hours a day watching TV. So this is a very regular thing. So we say children often spend. Number 6, the bus what at 10 past every hour except on weekends. Again, we have something like a timetable about buses, trains, planes, and so on. So which tense do we use here? We use the present simple, which is leaves. Very good. Now moving to exercise B. Correct any errors or mistakes in the sentences and use the time expressions in bold to help you, so they may help you. We have 7 sentences. I want you to read them carefully and I want you to decide whether this verb in bold is correct or not correct. I want you to decide the use of the verb itself. Is using it in the present continuous correct or not correct, and why? Number 1, I'm seeing my new friend this afternoon. What do you think about seeing here? Is it correct to use the verb see in the present progressive, the present continuous? Yes, it's correct. Why? Because seeing here means meeting, so it expresses an action or an activity, so we can use the verb see, which is a stative verb, as in the present continuous. Number 2, I am seeing what you mean. See here. Does this mean an action or an activity? I am seeing what you mean. or I want to actually say, okay, I understand you. So better to say, what do you think? Is this correct? No, it's not correct. It's incorrect. Why? Because it's a stative verb. So instead we can say, I see what you mean, which means I understand. I mentally understand what you mean. So it's not an action, it's a state. Number 3. The literature book is belonging to my neighbor. Now I want to say that this book is for my neighbor. My neighbor has this book. So belonging is correct here? No, actually it's incorrect because it's a stative verb as well. So we can say the literature book belongs to my neighbor. Number 4. My classmate isn't knowing the answers to the activities. Again, as we agreed before, that verb know is a stative verb, so we cannot use it in a progressive form. We cannot use it in the continuous form. So instead we are going to say, my classmate doesn't know the answers to the activities, because know here is a stative verb. Number 5. Are you needing a new pair of sunglasses for tomorrow's journey? Okay, we have the verb need, and I think it's from the list of the stative verbs as well. So instead, so definitely using needing is incorrect. Instead, we should say, do you need a new pair of sunglasses? Because need here is a stative verb. Very good. Number 6. We are thinking of buying a new laptop. What do you think here? Yes, very good. It's correct. Why? Because I am thinking about something. So verb put here is verb think here is put in in the action form. Yes, very good. So it's correct. Now let's move to number 7. I am thinking that coffee is great. Now here I am telling my opinion or what I really think, which is a belief. So I cannot use think here in the progressive form because it's a stative verb. So we say, instead of saying I'm thinking that coffee is great, we should say I think that coffee is great, because this expresses my opinion. Now, for more practice, I want you to go to the Max Students book, page 11, and answer exercise A and C. For your homework, which is a must, because I'm going to see this later on, and I'm going to provide you with the model answer of this homework, I want you to go to your A-level booklet, page 25, and answer exercise A and B. Thank you so much, Senior 1, for listening. I hope you enjoyed your lesson today, and we'll be meeting you later on. See you next time.